easy, sir. My first guest tonight is an Academy Award-winning actor. He's appeared in numerous classic films, including Midnight Cowboy, Catch-22, and Coming Home. Now you can see him as Howard Cosell in Ali. Let's take a look.
Sure make a lot of mistakes for a so-called educated man. You really went to law school?
Yes, Muhammad. And to think I gave up a lucrative practice for the likes of you.
I'm the best thing ever happened to you, Cosell. Without me, you'd be a tall white man with a microphone in his mouth.
And without me, you'd be a mouth. We'll be right back.
You want some food for that thing?
How can you do such a thing?
Because it's funny.
To someone you would revere.
Real honor to have here tonight, John Voight. It's fantastic to have you on the show.
I always knew I would like looking into your eyes in the same. You were a big guy, you know?
People don't know that. They see me on TV, they think I'm a little man.
Yeah.
In person, I'm well over 8 feet tall. Exactly. With a massive, manly chest. Hair up my back.
I noticed that.
You notice the hair on my back? We won't talk about that. Thanks so much for being here. Very nice to have you. You know, it's I've been, you know, looking at your performance in this movie as Howard Cosell, and I would never have thought to cast you in the role of Howard Cosell. You look nothing like Howard Cosell, yet they did a great job. It's your acting, it's the prosthetics, it's everything, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah, it took me quite a long time to get into this makeup. It's quite a long process, you know, and I myself was very unsure whether I could pull it off. And the first day after we thought about a lot of things and had the makeup done with wonderful people, it took me about 7 hours to get into the prosthetics, put the hairpiece on, do the walk and stuff like that, and I go out to test it. So I go out into this arena that they had. We were shooting one of the fights, and when I got there, everybody says, "Hey, Howard, hey!" And so I had to do Howard, and I was Howard all day long in this terrible posture, you know. But I lasted the week, and at the very last part of the week, Friday, they had the announcement in Variety. It says, "Voight to play Cosell in Ali," you know. And somebody on the set said, "What are they doing with John Voight doing this thing? The guy's been doing it for this last week. It was great." So I knew I had accomplished
You really become, and you actually went around having people call you Howard and being Howard Cosell the best that you could.
Yeah, I did.
Why is it always, whenever you hear about prosthetics, it's always 9 hours of prosthetics, 15 hours. Why don't they just make a Howard Cosell head, put it on, screw it in, and like, I'm Howard Cosell, you know? No one ever does it. It's always 15 hours of makeup for John Voight.
Exactly. Right.
It's not right.
I think you have the right idea.
I wish I was running Hollywood.
Yes.
Then you'd see something. You gotta...
Well, it's a very, you know, all this stuff is, the materials are very, forget it.
I gotta say, in eight and a half years of doing a talk show, I've never seen someone go, "Yeah, well, anyway, forget it." You never see that on a talk show. You won an Oscar for Coming Home, and I'm always curious. What do you do with this Oscar? Where does the Oscar go? Where do you keep the Oscar?
I gave my Oscar to my mom because any
nice.
award I get, she deserves.
That's nice. Because you know what? It would never happen, but were I to ever win an Oscar for any reason, it would not go to my mom. It would become,
why is that?
It would get screwed onto the hood of my car. And I'd drive around like, look what I got! Honk my horn.
My mom had that same enthusiasm, and she had it in her house, and people would come in and ask about the Oscar, or she would say, "Would you want to hold the Oscar?" So on Christmas one year, she used to decorate the whole house, and she put it in a fishbowl, and she put marbles underneath it and put lights under it and put it by the door. She decorated the whole house with all sorts of things and put Christmas tree bulbs around it, and it was, you know, and
like a shrine, like it was just a glowing Oscar.
Yes. And people came into the house, and the first thing she would do, she says, "You want to hold the Oscar? There it is. Pick it up. See, that's the Oscar. Now come into the house and enjoy yourself." Because she knew that's the first thing they'd want.
You know what I would do? I would electrify the Oscar with squirrel wire.
You have wonderful ideas.
Just to see, not to have to kill anyone, nothing like that. I would just be like, yeah, I want to see my Oscar yet. I'd be hated. Now, since in the last couple of months, you actually, you know what I like?
I'm so excited to come on.
And I've immediately told you 9 ideas that have convinced you I'm insane.
Yeah.
The Howard Cosell head, electrify the Oscar, and then put it on the hood of your car. These are all good ideas.
Did I write? Yeah.
Yeah, don't write. I'll get them for you.
Forget it.
Forget it.
Yes?
For obvious reasons, in the last 4 or 5 months, people have been showing a lot of support for the firemen in this country,
indeed.
especially
Yes,
here in the New York area.
Yep.
And you have really, it seems like, almost gone the extra mile. You've become very close with some...
I spent yesterday with them, and I had a wonderful, wonderful time.
That's nice of you,
and
too.
they're mostly Irish, and I was wondering, I said, you know, what are you doing with your life, Conan? these guys are the good guys. These guys are the good guys are the
you
great guys.
You could easily argue that I'd be doing a lot more good as a fireman than I am here every night. Let's see what these 2 celebrities would look like if they got it all.
But
I don't think they'd have
they are really the good guys, and they are the great guys.
Yeah, well, it's good of you to follow up on that too, because I think there's a tendency, or there's a temptation for some people to say during this really troubled time, I'm going to be with these people, but then forget and move on. I think it's nice that you've kept that bond.
Well, I think that what has happened, unfortunately, it came in this manner, but we have come to recognize the greatness of this group of people and given the young generation real heroes to look up to. It's great. So with that said, I mean, I wanted to just say hello to Richard and Janet, and thank you. These guys are, friends of mine, and all the guys at the fire station. Thanks for.
And I'd like to thank them for actually having this show on right now. That's nice. Ali is in theaters right now. It was so great to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks so much for being here. John Voight, everybody. Colin Hanks coming up. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.